Shallow living gradually drains the soul. God doesn't want you to merely exist. He longs for you to live deeply and seek true meaning. Here are 4 signs He is inviting you to change. Sign 1. You feel empty even when life looks full. You have a stable job, a steady income, perhaps even more than you need. You have relationships, people to talk to, and a place to return to each night. Yet, when the world grows quiet, a strange emptiness begins to echo inside you. The thrill from trips, new purchases, or lively gatherings fades within hours, leaving you exactly where you began. You realize, no matter how much you collect, nothing outside of you can fill that hollow space. This feeling is not an accident. It is God's gentle way of telling you, you've been living on the surface for too long, that you've let the rush of life carry you forward without pausing to ask, what truly nourishes my soul? God does not create this emptiness to punish you. He shapes it as a soft knock at the door of your heart, a quiet invitation to look inward, to seek meaning deeper than what the eyes can see or the hands can hold. If you ignore this knock, you may find yourself chasing more work, more pleasure, more achievements, yet feeling increasingly weary and unsatisfied, because the soul can only be filled by the source of life, by love, by truth, by an unshakable connection with Him. If you are feeling empty in the midst of an outwardly full life, do not rush to cover it with busyness, noise, or new distractions that stop. Be ye still. Ask Him quietly, Lord, what deeper thing are you calling me to seek today? The answer may not arrive instantly, but the very moment you turn your heart toward Him, you will have already stepped out of shallow living and begun the journey toward the depth He has always longed for you to know. Sign 2. You feel drained by shallow conversations and surface-level relationships. You used to be fine with small talk, weather, news, polite questions about work, all the little exchanges that fill the silence between strangers and acquaintances. But lately, something inside you grows restless in these moments. You smile, you nod, yet you can feel your energy quietly slipping away. It is not because you dislike people. It is because your soul is thirsting for something deeper, words that carry weight, conversations that leave you changed. The laughter feels hollow when no truth stands behind it. The polite interest feels empty when no heart truly listens. You begin to notice that after a long evening of social niceties, you return home not nourished, but strangely depleted. This is not you becoming antisocial. This is God reshaping your appetite for connection. That He is pulling you away from the noise of networking and casual acquaintance and inviting you into the quiet richness of a real relationship. In His design, relationships are meant to be places where souls touch, where burdens are shared, where truth can be spoken without fear. When He calls you to live more deeply, He will often make shallow waters feel uncomfortable. It is not that you should reject everyone around you, but that you begin to seek those who see you, not just your title, your image, or your usefulness. You begin to crave spaces where silence feels safe and where words are like seeds planted in the soil of the heart. If you find yourself pulling back from surface-level chatter, do not mistake it for loneliness. It is God clearing space in your life so He can fill it with connections that are real, life-giving, and anchored in truth. Sign 3. You feel a pull to stop chasing appearances and start nurturing your spiritual life. There was a time when the mirror had power over you. You measured your worth in how polished, admired, or put together you appeared. The right clothes, the right car, the right words at the right dinner. You chased approval like a shadow that always slipped just beyond reach. But now, something feels different. The applause no longer sounds as sweet. The compliments no longer linger in your chest. Instead, there is a quiet hunger you can't explain, a longing for something unseen, something eternal. You begin to notice how fragile beauty is when it depends on youth, how empty success feels when it feeds only the ego. It's not that you despise these things, it's that they no longer satisfy. God is loosening your grip on the temporary so you can hold the everlasting. He is shifting your gaze from the glitter of the stagito, the quiet altar of the heart. You start caring less about looking perfect and more about being honest before Him. Your prayers grow longer. Your thoughts turn heavenward in moments when the world expects you to shine outward. You start valuing mornings in His Word more than nights under bright lights. This change can be unsettling. Friends may wonder why you've lost interest in the chase, but the truth is, you have simply started running toward a different finish line. When God calls you deeper, He strips away the layers you once thought were essential and reveals the simple, unshakable truth: your soul matters more than your image, and the life you live before Him is infinitely greater than the life you perform before them. Sign 4. You feel an urge to spend quiet time alone with God. It begins subtly. In the middle of a crowded day, when the noise of life presses against your temples, you feel an ache, not for more activity, but for stillness. That it's not boredom. It's not fatigue, it's something deeper, like the pull of a tide calling you back to shore. You start noticing how the constant scroll, the endless chatter, the whirlwind of schedules, all leave you strangely hollow. And in that hollow space, you hear it, a gentle whisper: "Come away with me." You find yourself longing for moments when the world cannot reach you, when no phone buzzes, no door knocks, no task shouts for attention, just you and Him. Sometimes it happens in the early morning, when the sky is still gray and the house is still sleeping. Sometimes at night, when the city lights fade and only the stars bear witness. In these moments, silence stops feeling empty and starts feeling full of His presence, His peace, His voice. This urge isn't about escaping people. It's about meeting the person who made you. It's about trading the noise of opinions for the clarity of truth, the rush of deadlines for the rhythm of grace. In quiet, you realize God speaks in ways the busy never hear, through a sudden clarity in your thoughts, a verse that burns in your heart, a deep sense of being known and loved, without regard to performance. The more time you spend with Him, the more you understand. Silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of someone. And so, you begin to guard these moments fiercely. They are no longer optional. They are oxygen, the place where your soul breathes again. When God draws you into stillness, He is not pulling you away from life. He is pulling you toward it, for only in His presence do you discover the strength, wisdom, and libido truly live. God is not calling you into busyness, but into depth. When doors close, when shallow ties fade, when forms lose meaning and silence beckons, it is His invitation to live rooted, authentic, and whole in Him. If this video has brought you blessing, hope, or a change of heart, please let me know by liking and sharing with those who need to hear. Leave a comment below about how God has spoken to you. Don't forget to subscribe to God Speaks in Dreams for weekly videos to strengthen your walk with God. Your support means a lot to the channel. See you in the next episode.